Everybody, just let me indicate some of the particulars of this competition. This year, you would have to be eligible to play. You would fall in 3 categories. The regulars, which mean you'd have to be born on or after September 1, 2009. We allowed each team to have in their squad 5 what we call overage players because they don't fit that category. So they'd have to be born after September 1, 2008 to August 31, 2009. And then there's another category for the females. The females can be as much as up to age 19 and they can play in this competition. Now, I know Mr. Harris asked earlier where were the females for these teams, and we might have to fix that about ensuring. And why do I say that? I say that because you would have heard Miss Murdoch mention a young lady by the name of Abigail Bryce, who in 2022, she just took this thing by storm. And now in 2024, she is one of the Lynch members of the West Indies under-19 female team. And I've always said to you guys that cricket can carry you places. I don't think in 2022, she thought that in the summer of 2024, she'd be heading to England. And you could be among one of those. There are 3 members here who are part of the under-15 team. I'm going to ask them to stand. So, gentlemen, if you're looking for somebody, there are 2 of them from Manchester. There's Ward, there's Hall, and there's Plummer from St. Catherine. So they are representing both teams here. If you're looking for inspiration, they are right in your midst. So you shouldn't be having a challenge when you want to look for somebody who can tell you about playing at you can sit guys, playing at the youth team level. We have some conditions, and I want the coaches to be aware that even though we said that we have overage players, and some of the guys who stand in are in that category, but just to ensure that they do not hog the show, we have indicated that even in terms of how they participate in the team, so they can bat at number 1 or 2, but they can't bat. You can't have them batting number 1 or number 2. They can bat at number 4, and they can bat any number after number 6, but not consecutively. And we're doing that and they cannot bowl in tandem. And we're doing that because I said, we are using them to help to bring the younger ones along, but they are not the ones to be hogging the show. All right? So I want coaches to be very mindful of that. Don't try and sneak in something. The good thing is that on the sheet of paper, you are to declare. When you're declaring your team, the 2 umpires are here. When you're declaring your team, you are to indicate the overage player. So the umpires can know how to regulate what is going on. The games are 1 innings game. Starting last year, we had moved away from 50 over or limited overs competition. And we're doing that because we want our youngsters to begin to bat, particularly. Right? We don't want any coach telling a youngster that, 2 overs leave and then he must do something, which we don't want to encourage in our young men. So, young men, you have the opportunity to bat. And back in the days when Mr. Harris and Mr. Francis played, they would have said, bat till the cows come home. Now, among us also, I want to indicate that the under-15 coach is also here. I don't know if he'll be the under-15 coach next year. Mr. Thomas is the under-15 coach. So St. Catherine as the under-15 coach. As the under-15 coach, if he's back, he's going to be one who's selecting persons. So I will say, particularly for you guys from Manchester, the new guys, let me say all of those who are playing for the first time. Fantastic. So among all of you have played in this competition before. So you know what this is about. But now you have somebody who from day one is going to be looking at your performance. Right? Last year we had 19 teams just like this one. We were told that the 20th team, which was St. Thomas, would have come back. And they were in until last week Wednesday or Thursday or something like that, Wednesday. They were in. So they are now out because they have indicated that there's an inability for them to put a team together. There's some challenge with their administration there. So we understand what that is. But this year, the board of the JCA, in trying to ensure that our young men don't travel as far as they used to, we have now decided to have 5 zones of 4 instead of originally having 4 zones of 5. What this has done is that it has expanded the competition because now we only have 4 teams in a zone. So to ensure that there was enough cricket played to occupy you during the summer, you now have 5 games. Last year you only had 4. So each team have 1 more game to play. So you'd play 2 teams in your zone twice. So you have 1 more match to put in the performance that will push you forward for the selectors who are going to be coming around this time to look at performances. Once we have, last year also, we used to just use the top 2 teams from each zone. So you win or you come second, automatically you win to the knockout stages. This year is going to be a bit different. We have 5 zones, we have to get to 8 teams. So all the winners will go through automatically. And thereafter, we are only selecting 3 of the second place, the best 3 from the second place. These 3 best second place players, thank you, teams. So therefore, it is harder now because you're not only trying to win in your zone, you're trying to ensure that of the 5 other players, teams that are coming second, you have to be in the top 3. So performance is going to matter. The teams already have the playing conditions that indicate what are the tiebreakers. So I'm sure they'll be paying attention to that. As I said, this year we'll have 10 additional matches. So we are hoping that it provides you with more cricket and you can do so much more within that time. At the end of the competition, we'll be selecting 24 players. And those 24 players will begin the preparation for next year's tournament starting in October. So you have a choice, you have a chance. Make sure that it will count. You would have also heard Mrs. Murdoch speak about inserting some non-cricket sessions. So yes, very soon the teams will have the schedule that they will be dealing with to deal with issues of conflict management, social awareness and responsibility, the rules of the sport, and media management. Those will be done at your training sessions, and they are going to be mandatory. So the teams have to have them, and the players have to be in attendance at all of these events. Young men, I would just like to join everybody else in encouraging you to play hard. The sun is hot. Make sure you rehydrate. I'm asking the teams to make sure that the youngsters are properly hydrated, umpires. I'm also asking that where you find the time is exceedingly hot, the water breaks can't be the regular an hour. We have to ensure it's already a warm time. So we're asking you to be mindful of the youngsters' interest when we look at that. Today is going to be a shortened game, and I'm hoping that it doesn't stifle your ability to perform because it starts today. We end on the 30th. And now I heard Mrs. Murdoch says that at the end of the competition, the 2 teams that are left standing have more goodies to get. You got some already. And every year I'm in this position because by the time I leave here, you all call your friends and everybody telling that I get this and I get that. And I'm getting a lot of calls about what is there for us. But it is possible because last year, the 2 teams that came to the final were from the same zone. So it is indeed possible that the 2 teams can come from this zone. But more importantly, as I said, you play hard, make friends, keep yourself hydrated, and play in the best spirit of the game. I hope you have a wonderful day and tournament. Thank you.